Hello friends, it's Chops and welcome to another Chops vlog. This one is quite late. I normally record these on Sunday and then schedule them for uploads on Monday, but it was a friend of mine's birthday this weekend, and as you might imagine, I didn't really feel like doing much when I woke up on Sunday morning. So I didn't. I played a few video games, I watched some TV shows, and I went back to sleep. Um, so I'm recording this on my lunch break. Trying to get it out at least on Monday sometime. Uh, let's get you caught up on where I'm at. I spent the week doing a couple of things. I finalized some of my farming tunes to get them out to where I want to do some of the more arduous farms. Like farming up Vibroblade, farming up a Samid's Vision Ring from Legion, and farming up a Blackrock Bulwark for the transmog. Excuse me. So I got those farmers set up, and I'll take a moment just to mention, yes, I don't like playing my 20 as just like a glorified battle pet for a different tune where I just slash follow and then play this other character. But some of these farms are a little arduous. Like, I'm not going to try to solo Nomergon on my free to play. Like, that's just going to take too long. I'm not going to try to solo farm up a Legion BOE. Because that's just insane, especially on a warrior. So no, I'm not gonna do those farms on one character. I am gonna slash follow and just loot on those. Apologies. Who cares? Anyways, and then the other thing I did this week was I took a little bit of time out to sit down and push my warrior up to 2,000 rating in arenas. And you might be saying, but Chops, rated arenas at 20? And we don't have rated arenas at 20, but we do kind of. What I mean by that is the game also stores a skirmish rating. And you can use a very simple little script to pull up your skirmish rating in your little chat box, and it'll tell you what your skirms rating is. And so because we have skirms, we do kind of have at least an approximate rated arena scene. Now, there's some things you need to know about the way skirms work. There is no matchmaking system. Well, okay, maybe there is. I haven't seen it actually do anything, because it is entirely possible that as a rated 2,000 player, you get paired against somebody who's rating 100 because it's their first couple of games in skirms. So there is that. You should also know that I don't know how rated arenas work, but if you queue skirms, there aren't any healers. There aren't any healers in twos. If you queue a healer or with a healer, you get put in the threes queue. So all twos queuing, and especially if you're a solo queuer, are going to predominantly be twos, and they're not going to have healers. So hybrids kind of rule the roost there. But yeah, that's you can queue some skirms and get a rating, and I wanted to push to 2,000. The reason for that is one of the EU kids, or he might be Russian, I don't really remember, Ehrenberg, I'm pronouncing that wrong too. I really should have looked this up before I started talking. Anyways, he went and made a whole website with a whole visual ladder on it that tracks people's arena ratings if you opt into it. You'd have to download his client and run it manually and manually upload your tune, which I know sounds a little sketchy. And some people were rightly a little sketched out when it first came around, but a lot of folks have been using it for a long time now, and there haven't really been any issues. So if you want to use it, feel comfortable to use it. I'm going to link his site in the descriptions below. I'm not vouching for it, but I am saying I'll probably start using it next season. I don't, my sketchiness has been averted. Anyways, so it has kind of led to this renaissance in interest in level 20 arenas, which is really cool. I've always liked low level arenas. I think they're a lot of fun. I spend most of my time playing like arena war games and solo shuffle against friends and the Chopsvlog Firefighters Guild and all that stuff. So I don't play a whole lot of skirms. I think I have a couple hundred across all my characters. But I really like arenas, and so I'm kind of glad that like the skirms ladder got created, because it created this sort of like renaissance in arena interest, which is very cool. You like when you queue up, you actually like I've started noticing like twos teams more or less, right? Like it's like, oh, that's Dre and Veggie, or oh, that's Andre and Bark, or oh, that's Wiz and Flynn, or oh, that's Bop and Old Spike. You know, like all of these like twos teams that you kind of see with some regularity, and I really like that. That's kind of cool. Like I don't typically queue with somebody, or I'll queue with a wide variety of people, but you know, sometimes I'll queue up and it'll be like, all right, man, it's cool. Like I feel like I'm seeing an actual scene here, and not just like people, you know, getting drunk and goofing around in skirms, which is what it's been for, you know, several years now. So that's really felt very cool, and so I wanted to, you know, push my tune to 2,000 before the end of the season, so I could say like, hey, I played arenas with you guys. I do want to stress 2,000 is not particularly good. It's not like super high rating or anything. I don't know how rated arena works, but in skirms, you don't lose rating for losing games below like 1,600. So you get a free ride to 1,600. And then from like 1,600 to 1,900, you get like anywhere from 7 to 10 to 12, maybe even 15 points a win, just kind of depending on the relative rating of your opponent. And like I said, there's no matchmaking, so a lot of the time you go up against levelers, right? And so if it's you and a twink buddy queuing skirms, you're probably not going to lose. Like you might, but probably not. Especially like if you're not facing leveler hunters or something. You might run into some other twink teams, and that's when it gets a little competitive. But you know, you cruise on up to 2,000. You pick the right day, you might see one or two twink teams, you know, and not like a bunch. So there is that. So like 2,000 is not like super impressive. I would consider it like baseline average among people who play arenas at 20s. But it was one of those things where I was like, I should probably get to 20 or to 2,000. So I did. Like I said, I will probably run the app and actually like participate in the ladder next season. I think that would be a little bit of fun, just to kind of have my character up there. I did a quick look through, and I think I am the highest rated free-to-play warrior. I think all of the other warriors that are rated higher than me are vets. I think I'm also the only free-to-play warrior, so hey, go me. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of cool. A couple of things I will point out, if you decide to do this next season, I'm hoping Ehrenberg resets the site and you know, all that. Just so you don't get frustrated, I want to give you a heads up on some things. There is a little bit of cheese action that people will engage in on the ladder. Don't be bothered by it. Everybody has to deal with it, right? Everybody deals with the same cheesy stuff. But like I mentioned, if you're queuing twos, you're not getting or if you're queuing skirms, you're not getting a healer if you're in twos, right? So people have discovered that Prop Paladin is pretty much a holy paladin at this level. So you will see people playing Prop Pallies like holy Pallies. Fair, man. That's 20s. Get used to it. I played several matches on my Balanced Druid where I acted like my partner's Resto Druid, right? Like, tough. So be aware of that. That is a thing that happens. There are some abilities and items that are usable in twos that you might think to yourself, wait a minute, that shouldn't work. One of those is the Viking helm. What's it officially called? The Horned Viking helm, which is like will give plate wearers a gap closer and a stun. The Goblin rocket launcher is usable. Uh, all sorts of like kind of cheesy stuff like that, and you will see that occasionally. But hey, whatever. That's we all have to deal with it after all. Like it's everybody runs into that stuff. Another thing you'll notice is that while the website itself gives hunters sort of a huge ratings hit, there are a lot of hunters out there that don't care about their rating on the website. They just care about their actual official rating in game. And so you will run into a lot of people queuing like Shadow Priest serve or Ret serve or double serve or whatever serve, right? And they'll teabag your corpse and stuff because they think pressing Raptor Strike makes them talented players. So know that is also going to be a thing. There are also a couple of other fairly scummy ways to like force a 3v2 for threes, like if you wanted to be just a real scumbag. And you do run into that. It is kind of frustrating, but I want to stress, it's really kind of the minority of what you deal with. Like the vast majority of the time, it's everybody sort of playing on equal footing and understanding that like we're all here to have fun, and anybody who cares about rating on a website is really kind of daft anyway. So yeah, there is that. I say all of this, pointing out sort of the good and bad of it, because I want you to participate if you feel like it's something you want to participate in. It is a lot of fun. It's very cool. It's neat to kind of have the opportunity to, even as a little gimpy as it might be, to have like really good opportunity to engage in some fun PvP for what is essentially meaningless rating, but it's cool. But yeah, that was all I really wanted to talk about this week. I finally got through it after a couple of takes because my dog, I'm sure you can hear her, is snoring obscenely loudly because she wants attention. I'm going to go pay attention to her for a little bit before I have to get back to work. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, guys, and I will talk to y'all next time.